Hi everyone, Cheryl here. I just wanted to share some information on another service that I provide for my clients, and that is numerology. I have been working with numerology since the 70s actually, and I have worked with it with my clients over time, doing a complete analysis on their different numbers within their name, looking at the life cycles, looking at their destiny numbers, and all of the different numbers that are contained not only within their birth date, but within their name as well. And over time, I actually discovered certain patterns that were revealing themselves that showed a different system in a way. I have since done research on this observation and I have compiled information over the years and eventually created a book. And it has instructions on how to do this technique that I call the sequence technique, and it is available on Amazon. So the book is called The Secret in Your Name, and I know it's kind of hard to see with the glare, not really fully in focus here, but anyway, this book gives complete instructions on the technique that I have discovered, and maybe somebody else has this technique and calls it something else. I don't know, but I did not copy it from anybody. It was something that I discovered over time. Anyway, numerology is very, very fascinating for me. I find that it adds another layer of self-discovery and patterns and life cycles that can act as a guiding light for, different patterns and stages that we're at. And it can be very helpful in determining strategies and influences that are happening in your life. Now, people probably are aware of some of the simplistic things like adding up your birth date, and that includes the day, the month, and the year, and that gives you your destiny number. And so the destiny number is very valuable in coloring um, the over, like it's the overall energy of what you're meant to be doing in this lifetime. It sort of describes the strength that you have, but also the challenges. So each number will have a different energy to it. So, people who have a destiny number of one, they're meant to be trying new things and maybe being a bit of a leader of the pack and maybe doing things their own way and asserting themselves and creating their own independence. And that's the recurring theme that will happen in their life. And they're meant to learn that. They may not start out that way, but eventually over time, that's what they're meant to be doing. People who have a two destiny number will find that they're always put in situations where they're meant to be the go between, or they're meant to be creating peace. It's almost like there is the polar opposites. They're stuck in a situation where maybe they need to be the mediator, maybe they need to be the person who is finding that balance point. They're also very sensitive to the people around them, and they may feel like they have to adjust all the time to accommodate that. They're usually very kind souls, and they want to be helpful, but sometimes people see that kindness and they may view them as someone who they can not walk on, but they may attract people who will use some of that energy that they exhibit with their kindness. But they're very good at being very conscientious of the other person. It is that duality number. And so they're always looking to find that balance point between them and the outside world, them and another person, them and the relationship. And so that two energy, it can be a very strong energy for people who are diplomatic and considerate of others, but it also poses challenges, much like all the numbers do. So a one, I didn't talk about it, even though they may feel like they have to be the leader of the pack and try new things and be on the cutting edge, they may also have a bit of a solo life, or they may feel like they're not connecting with others in the same way that a 2 might. And somebody who has a 3 destiny number, they're going to be more geared towards creative things and pursuits. They are going to feel the need to communicate with others and interact socially. They may have a wide or large circle of friends, and they're meant to learn all about that. Learn about having fun, learn about the social aspect, but also creative solutions. And the challenge with a 3 number as a destiny number can be that they can get scattered very easily. They may end up trying to take on too many activities at the same time and end up scattering their energies and losing their focus. The 4 as a destiny number is a number that provides structure, um, routine, uh, a solid, sort of stable environment is very important to these people, and they will go to great lengths to create that. And they perform and function best in a situation where they have that structure, where they have routines, where they know exactly what their day to day brings them and isn't all over the map. They don't function well with spontaneity. They prefer to have everything planned out, and they're learning about that. So they may not have had that in the early years, but they're learning about it and they're acquiring that skill throughout their life. And so circumstances will always be thrown in their path that will cause them to create structure and order and routine to bring them back to their center point and to help them along on their journey. People have a 5 destiny number. That's a different thing altogether because it's almost like the opposite of the 4. 5 destiny number are people that enjoy spontaneity, that might enjoy the adventure of life and enjoy experiencing new things and different cultures and enjoy travel and new experiences. And they sort of flourish on the spontaneity a little bit more than the 4 did. And so the 5 is about learning and growing and connecting with the world at large. And they really enjoy that exploration and all of that it brings. So a 5, the challenge for the 5 is to settle down maybe and have a, a somewhat what they might see as a mundane life or routine life. They're always so interested in travel and exploration and growth that if that's not happening, they may feel stagnant. And so the challenge is for them to have that exploration and learning and growth without upsetting the apple cart of day-to-day living and finding a balance point with that growth on a day-to-day level. The 6 destiny number has to do with someone who's really focused on perhaps family, community, finding harmony and balance. They may also be actively involved in the arts, but really it's all about harmony and balance and finding a place of, I think, balance to the point where there's no interference with their peace. I think that peace and stability is very important with family or within themselves to not have circumstances that are too upsetting, that are too distasteful, that are more peaceful and serene. Interactions with others are usually pleasant. They don't want to argue. They don't want to have upsetting circumstances. And so their downfall is that they may do anything possible to create balance. And that might mean sacrificing themselves so that they don't have an argument. And maybe they might stretch the truth a little to avoid that kind of conflict. Um, and that sounds like I'm making them out to be unethical. It's not the case. It's just that they will go to great lengths to find that peace and that harmony and that balance point within their life. And arguments and disagreements are very distasteful to them. And so they're learning about how to find that balance point and maintain their own integrity at the same time. A seven destiny number is going to be someone who is very much a deep thinker, and they really like to reflect on things, and they like to go inside, and they like to analyze things, and they need downtime and healing time and withdrawal from society so that they can actually assess what they've experienced. And sometimes people might actually misinterpret what they're doing and thinking that they're a recluse or a hermit and that they take it personally, when in fact it's all about what this person needs internally for themselves. They're very good at research. They're very good at analysis. They can take something and break it down and see all the details of it and get to the bottom of things. And they're very, very good at that. And so they're learning about, again, finding the balance point with, we are social creatures. And so how do you find the balance point of going inside and seeking, answers internally as far as data and analysis and dissecting things, and at the same time have a normal life with socializing and family and whatnot. So regular intervals of private time is very important to this kind of person. Somebody who has a seven destiny will need that reflective time, and as long as they're taking time out on a regular basis to find that balance point, it's very helpful for them to have the reflective time and alternate that with being out in the world. Um, anyway, so the seven, all of the numbers bring challenges. They also bring strengths, and it also shows us what we're meant to be learning and experiencing on our life destiny path. So the eight destiny number, so we're talking about the birth date that adds up, the day, the month, and the year. And you take the full year when you're adding that up, and you're always adding it up to reduce it to a single digit. So if it adds up to, you know, uh, 46, well, that reduces to a 10, which reduces to a 1. So that's how you're doing the math on that. So looking at the 8 destiny number, the 8 number is a number that has to do with um, managing things on a bigger scale. It's a double 4, so it likes the structure, it likes the order, but they're more of a managerial energy. They take on bigger projects. They're a little bit more of an overseer as opposed to the 4, which probably likes to follow direction a little bit more, whereas the 8 gives direction. And the 8 is destined to be in a place of managing, whether it be information, people, money. Um, it is a number that is often viewed as a number of success, and it comes through hard work, not just given to them, but through hard work and also um, knowing how to manage those things. And so managing money, managing earthly possessions, managing property, managing all of the things that equate to money and finances, that is sort of the destiny of an 8. And it can also be reflective in, you know, when I say managing people, I don't mean that in controlling people. I mean it as a managerial position, or something that could be related to banking, or it could be related to directing people, giving them advice. Uh, the 8 can show up in any profession really, but it has that overseer energy to it in helping people and directing people in a way that is going to be supportive for a positive end result. The 9 destiny number is the end of the single digits, because we're only looking at single digits in numerology. And the 9 energy is more about having a broad perspective. So these are the people that can see the really big picture, and they are very good at directing others, but they're also a very kind and compassionate and caring person. So these are the people that might be in charge of, charities and larger organizations that are helping the world at large. And they're very good at seeing this big picture and helping on a larger scale. And they are very good at seeing that pattern, and they're delegating others to do the fine detail work. They're just really much better at orchestrating a larger scenario. So they're meant to learn about that. And the challenge can be that they are not taking, like if they're looking at the big picture to such an extent that they're not seeing all of the little working components that go into it, then it's possible that they lose some of that caring and compassion. And they have to be careful not to detach too much, because the nine is the end of a cycle, and it has to do with endings and letting go. And sometimes, the easiest way to let go of something or to detach from it is to actually, you know, become, and I don't mean that this is exactly what the people do. Pardon my pen dropping on the floor. That distracted me. Uh, it has to do more with not losing their ability to be compassionate and understanding, and not to detach so much that they become cold or they become withdrawn and they only see the big picture and sacrifice everybody in the process. So those are the basic numbers of the destiny numbers. I provide a numerology analysis as one of my services. And I actually, with you know, the traditional numerology, I do that, but I also can provide, like I said, the book that I created. This was printed back in 2014 that I created and released that. Um, and that book is available on Amazon. And I've actually taught that as a workshop, and the book is like a workbook because there are examples in the book. I use celebrities as examples with the analysis technique that I created or that I discovered. I can't really claim that I created it. I think I discovered it, and like I said, I call it the sequence technique. um, Somebody else might have discovered it and called it something else. I don't know. I don't know every possible numerology technique in the world. There are many, but this is something that I've found to be very helpful and useful. Anyway, so this is a synopsis of what numerology can provide, and hopefully you're busy calculating your destiny number and seeing what kind of energy you are meant to live out through your lifetime. And the destiny number is, again, just the addition of your day, month, and year, and it shows you the patterns that you have, that you are learning, that you are working throughout your whole lifetime. And you will have recurring situations that happen that bring out those properties and skills for you to learn through. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this little bit of information. And if you're looking for a numerology analysis, you can contact me, and you will see the information scrolling on the screen of how to do that. And anyway, I hope that's opened up your mind a little bit to explore other possibilities of how you can help yourself. Have a great day.